Sarawakian accepted into the Ivy League. Intel suspends their business in Russia and infested pork sausage seized. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're now watching TVS Nightline with me, Mohammed Yusuf. We begin with this story. Alyssa Yap Shin Yi joins 5 other Malaysian students selected from a pool of 61,220 applicants to be admitted into Harvard's University undergraduate program, making her the only Sarawakian to join the rare opportunity to be part of Harvard College class of 2026. Alyssa's achievement is worth noting as Harvard recorded its lowest acceptance rate since 386 years of establishment, with only a mere 3.19% making the cut. Joining Alyssa's ranks are Choi Ja-chin from Johor, Herman Leong Shin Yang and Ishan Shah from Penang, Charisma Michaela Wong from Sabah, and Lee Yi-jun from Kuala Lumpur. They are planning to pursue their studies in the fields of astrophysics, biochemistry, economics, environmental science and public policy, politics, and sociology. Meanwhile, Harvard College alumnus and CEO of TMC Life Sciences Berhad Group, Wan Nadia Wan Muhammad Abdullah Yaakob, said these students have broken the most number of Malaysian admissions into Harvard College in the same year. She added Harvard follows a need-blind admission, where financial status does not affect the application process. This ultimately has brought Harvard to its high reputation of serving the world's most ambitious scholars and leaders. Now, Intel has suspended its business operations in Russia. The U.S. chip maker made the announcement on Tuesday, joining many companies exiting the country following its invasion on Ukraine. Last month, it had suspended shipments to Russia and Belarus, a move it said to ensure business continuity in minimizing disruption to its global operations. In an explicit statement, the company said it wants to join the global community in condemning Russia's war against Ukraine and called for a swift return to peace. Other tech giant companies such as Dell Technologies and Hewlett-Packard Enterprise have already pulled out from the Russian market. Ten kilograms of pork sausages worth 350 ringgit were seized by the Malaysian Quarantine and Inspection Services, or MAKIS, at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA. Such action was taken after samples from the sausage had shown traces of the African swine flu. The product was brought by a man from China attempted to smuggle the goods in his hand luggage. According to MAKIS, the ASF test was conducted to prevent the virus from spreading, which would compromise the pork farm industry in the country. Malaysia has imposed a strict rule prohibiting any pork products from countries suffering with ASF to be brought into the country by all means of transporting the product, including in hand-carried luggages. ASF is a highly contagious disease that can cause 100% fatality to all pigs, disabling the industry in a blink of an eye. Now on to some local news. The Sarawak government announced a special assistance of 500 ringgit to Sarawak civil servants of all grades. Through a statement issued by the Premier of Sarawak office, the special assistance is in conjunction with the Aidilfitri and Gawai Dayak Celebration 2022. The special assistance will be distributed starting in April before the celebration. The special aid is proof of the government's appreciation for the hard work of civil servants in discharging their duties and serving the people in a responsible and trustworthy manner. As such, it is hoped that all civil servants would continue the excellent momentum in their efforts to ensure the success of the government's economic recovery agenda and people-centered policies. Sarawak Information Systems Sendirian Berhad or SAINS, SACOFA Sendirian Berhad and PP Telecommunications Sendirian Berhad today signed a Memorandum of Understanding to jointly drive the state's digital transformation. The partnership aims at accelerating competitiveness in the digital economy and to drive the urgency of staying relevant through innovative and digitally driven initiatives. Minister of Utility and Telecommunications Sarawak, Datuk Julaihi Narawi, said, with digital transformation is one of the key enablers outlined in the post-COVID-19 development strategy PCDS 2030. The collaboration between the three parties will look to promote innovative approaches and collaboration in digital trade to scale the digital economy ecosystem and provide end-to-end services and solutions to accelerate the fulfillment of the digital transformation initiatives set forth in the PCDS 2030.
Each of the three parties has been a key player in the digital transformation of the state. From providing digital infrastructure, building connectivity to the rural and remote areas, and developing as well as implementing application system to enable Sarawak government services to be conveniently accessed by the public at any time from anywhere.
He added positive results are expected with a strong synergy forged among companies.
These three companies are already strong and established in their own fields. As mentioned by Datuk Patigi just now, they have their own strength and establish their own fields of expertise. And when they come together and collaborate and are committed to assist the state to fulfill the state vision, we can expect tremendous effectiveness and exciting outcome ahead of us in the near future.
Meanwhile, SAINS Chairman Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. George Chan Hong Nam said the collaboration formed will allow each company to cover a wider spectrum instead of advancing independently.
SAINS, PPTEL and SACOFA are experts in their own fields. Whether we put them together, their products and services can actually cover a much wider spectrum. Instead of progressing independently, the three companies will work together, drawing on each other's strength, covering each other's weaknesses, and most importantly, accelerating the digital transformation of Sarawak by bringing technological advancement to this land.
Since the inception of SAINS, the company has created over 200 applications, transforming hundreds of manual processes in the Sarawak government into automated application systems and mobile apps, thus elevating the efficiency of the state's civil service to among the top in the country. Meanwhile, PPTEL, a Sarawak-based international telecommunication infrastructure provider, is a terrestrial backbone within Sarawak, with the aim to dramatically improve broadband speeds and performance in the region. On the other hand, SACOFA, Sarawak's leading ICT infrastructure company, owns and operates more than 1,800 telecommunication towers throughout the state of Sarawak to cater to the network expansion needs of cellular operations and other organizations. The pumping station construction project in Dalat district has been completed and is currently awaiting the testing and accreditation process. Minister of Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, who is also Dalat Assemblywoman, said the station is expected to be fully operational by the end of April. Fatimah said the station will resolve the low water pressure issue in the district.
Semua maklum bahawa kita menghadapi masalah tekanan air, low water pressure, dan kadang-kadang tak ada air. Untuk kawasan seperti Kakan dan Kampung Bedong. Kampung Bedong ada 3 buah kampung, Bedong Seberang, Bedong Hilir, Bedong Hulu. Kakan Seberang dan Kakan Seberang Hulu. Dan lima buah kampung ini bilangan penduduknya besar. kecil. Dan dengan sebab itu, usaha yang dijalankan untuk mengatasi masalah tekanan air yang rendah.
Adding further, she said the water pump station is also equipped with 24-hour electricity to ensure continuous supply of water to Madong and Kakan. At the same time, the government also built a high-level water tank in Sungai Kut to accommodate the increasing population around the area.
So, untuk Sungai Kut juga dibina high-level water tank dan untuk Sungai Kut dijangka siap by June 2022, and that one will be able to supply 0.65 MLD, and dan itu akan dapat menyelesaikan masalah air, tekanan air di sungai itu saja.
As such, Fatima assured that the Sarawak government will continue to utilize the grid system to ensure that water and electricity supply can continue to be provided throughout Sarawak. A 24-year-old woman who fell from a riverbank along the Batang Rajang River was rescued in the wee hours today. The woman was believed to have fallen at a height of 3 meters and was safely fished out from the river by rescuers summoned to the scene. The Fire and Rescue Department, or Bomba, received a distress call at 3:20 a.m., to which a team of firefighters were dispatched immediately to the scene.
Pada jam 3.20 pagi, pihak Bomba terima laporan seorang mangsa perempuan telah terjun ke sungai Batang Rajang. Bertindak atas laporan tersebut, pihak Bomba terus bergegas ke tempat kejadian, dan setiba di tempat kejadian memang benar kami mendapati seorang wanita yang masih dalam pengaruh alkohol berada di tebing sungai, dan mangsa dipercayai terjun pada ketinggian 3 meter. Keadaan air pada masa tersebut adalah surut. Pasukan Bomba terus menjalankan operasi penyelamatan dengan turun ke tebing sungai menggunakan tali menyelamat. Wanita berusia 24 tahun itu hanya mengalami cedera ringan selepas memasangkan full body harness kepada mangsa tersebut. Mangsa terus ditarik naik ke atas dengan selamat.
The victim was then given early treatment by the Civil Defence Ambulance Team APM Cebu before being sent to the Cebu Hospital for further treatment. As the victim was under the influence of alcohol, the actual cause of the woman falling into the river has yet to be ascertained. Human remains found near Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia have been confirmed as belonging to a Sarawakian, believed to have been murdered more than a year ago.
Bukit Aman Narcotics Crime Investigation Department Director Dato' Ayub Khan Maidin Piche said investigations revealed that the 25-year-old victim, Jackie Chong Kai Wong, had entered Australia in November 2016 on a tourist visa. He was thought to have been offered a job by a Southeast Asian crime group as a marijuana crop sitter growing cannabis. The Australian authorities said the victim was understood to have been murdered between December 25, 2020 and January 8, 2021, adding that 3 men aged 33, 28, and 22 were charged with his murder. Authorities believe that the victim was killed due to a dispute over money with other members of the gang.
We'll be taking a short break. When we come back, diabetics prone to severe COVID-19 symptoms and academic clinical research on marijuana, right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned.
Nak tahu tema apa yang Siti akan gayakan minggu ini? Jangan lupa saksikan Fashion of the Day Khamis ini jam 11.15 pagi hanya di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan MyFeeview.
Dia udah ajar aku macam Jepun deh, Joko namanya. Aku mau sitek baik hari Jepun. Jepun. Aku mak betuang udah kan. Abah tuno udah kan. Abah belaan din udah kan ada Filipin. Udah ngajar orang. Benar.
Kita pemburu. Saksikan hasil-hasil setiap Sabtu dan Ahad 12-15 tengah hari hanya di TVS, saluran 122 Astro dan My Freeview.
Welcome back. People with diabetes are more likely to have serious complications from COVID-19. In general, people with diabetes are more likely to have more symptoms from the virus. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said diabetes has been a major public health concern in Malaysia, thereby a need to prevent the rising prevalence of diabetes. Khairi pointed out that diabetes is not only associated with excessive sugar intake, but the disease is also closely linked to uncontrolled eating and unhealthy lifestyle practices. Therefore, he reminded the public of the importance of adopting a healthy and balanced diet as well as an active lifestyle. He added that parents play a vital role in advocating healthy lifestyle. According to Khairi, the National Health and Morbidity Survey 2019 or NHMS 2019 found that the percentage of diabetic patients in Malaysia has increased from 13.4% in 2015 to 18.3% in 2019. The report shows that 1 out of 5 individuals, or nearly 4 million Malaysians aged 18 and above in the country, live with diabetes or the equivalent. The Ministry of Health MOH welcome industry or academia initiated research on the medical use of marijuana and is ready to collaborate for medicinal purposes. However, its Minister Khairi Jamaluddin pointed out that so far there have been no full submissions for a clinical study or trial, indicating that the ministry has been consistent in practicing policies based on evidence. The ministry welcomes clinical studies on the use of CBD or cannabidiol for medicinal purposes, as such efforts could be coordinated by the ministry's Institute for Clinical Research and Clinical Research Malaysia. The use of medical marijuana is currently controlled under the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 or Act 234. Proponents of the use of marijuana for medical purposes include MUDA President Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman, who has been vocal in urging the government to consider its legalization. Only 30% of the fire and rescue or bomba personnel were granted festive leave on break during Hari Raya Aidilfitri, set to take place on May 3rd, while the remainder will be on standby for any emergency situation and dependent on states that are prone to fire incidents. This was stated by the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department Director General Datuk Seri Muhammad Hamdan Wahid during a press conference on Wednesday.
Kita akan cantumkan cuti dia tu untuk negeri tersebut. Kita akan tengok kalau ketidakcukupan tu kita akan bekukan cuti dia.
On the other hand, Bomba will be launching the Op Raya on April 26 as a preventive measure for the upcoming Aidilfitri celebration. Patrols will be conducted at areas marked as hotspots a week prior to the celebration and a day after the first day of Aidilfitri.
Satunya melihat dari segi aspek risiko kebakaran. Keduanya juga untuk memastikan tidak ada apa-apa aktiviti kemabahayaan yang boleh memudaratkan komuniti dan juga penghuni rumah ataupun bangunan. Dan bangunan-bangunan ini dalam keadaan selamat. Dan punca-punca yang boleh menyebabkan kebakaran ini kita boleh kenal pasti untuk kita ambil tindakan.
Commercial buildings such as shopping malls, which are a place of many patrons as Malaysia recently moved into the transition to endemic phase, will also be monitored. As such, on-duty personnel would undertake duties of patrolling, monitoring and disseminating awareness to the public at some of the accident-prone areas and hotspots. Right. The framework of the National WAKAF Master Plan has been completed and will be presented to the State Islamic Religious Council for approval. As part of the government's strategy to further develop the Islamic economy, Yayasan Wakaf Malaysia is committed to ensuring a more organized Wakaf management for the next 5 years. As such, its Chief Executive Officer, Professor Dr. Amir Shaharuddin, said high trust has been placed on the institution in the effort to help the community escape the clutches of poverty.
Zakat kita telah mencapai 3 bilion kerana usaha-usaha yang telah dilaksanakan 20 tahun yang lepas. Jadi dalam tempoh 5 tahun yang akan datang ini, bila adanya satu master plan wakaf ini, insya-Allah kita akan dapat lihat di mana dalam negara kita ini kita akan ada sektor zakat dan juga sektor wakaf yang akan complement each other. Dia akan melengkapi.
The National Wakaf Master Plan is a holistic plan to strengthen Wakaf endowment management in Malaysia that was announced by the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob last November. Therefore, Wakaf has become a part of the 12th Malaysia Plan framework. The 5th focus and 6th focus outline the critical role that needs to be played by the Wakaf institution in helping Keluarga Malaysia, Malaysian family, to escape the clutches of poverty.
TVS brings you a special 2-part documentary.
Thank you for staying with me. Now on to some global updates. Children and lactating mothers in Ethiopia are suffering severe malnutrition because of the food shortage due to the region's worst drought in 40 years. The Horn of Africa is experiencing one of its worst droughts in recent history, with more than 13 million people severely food insecure in Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia. According to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, the October-December 2020, March-May 2021, and October-December 2021 seasons were all marred by below-average rainfall, leaving large swathes of Somalia, southern and southeastern Ethiopia, and northern and eastern Kenya facing exceptional drought, leading to poor crop production and low pasture and water resources for livestock. The crisis has destroyed livelihoods and forced families to leave their homes in search of food and water. A 4-year-old girl named Aisley only weighs 5 kilograms, far lighter than WHO's standard weight of about 11 to 26 kilograms for a girl of her same age.
She has complication, severe acute malnutrition, her MWAC, and we are planning to refer her to the health facility.
Aisley and her mother have been taken to a general hospital in town, where children and mothers with severe malnutrition can receive treatments and more consistent food and water supply. In the severely stricken regions of Oromia and Somali, more than 225,000 children and 100,000 pregnant and lactating women are in urgent need of nutrition, according to the data released by UNICEF. Wrapping up the Nightline, from waiting tables to bringing people their food, robots have been a growing trend in Japan. An innovative idea by scientists invented a dual-armed robot that peels bananas without squishing the fruit inside. Developed by researchers at the University of Tokyo, a video showed the robot skillfully using its two hands to pick up the banana and peel it in about 3 minutes. Researchers Hicho Kim, Yoshiyuki Omura, and Yasuo Kuniyoshi at the university trained the robot in what was termed the deep imitation learning process. They demonstrated the banana peeling action hundreds of times to produce sufficient data for the robot to learn these actions and replicate it. Kuniyoshi said it took them more than 13 hours to train the robot to peel a banana without destroying the fruit at a 57% success rate. Additionally, the robot is still in its testing phase. However, Kuniyoshi said that he believes the robot training method can help teach robots to do simple human tasks, which he hopes can support Japan's labor shortage problems, especially in factories that are highly dependent on human labor. And that's all the time we have for tonight's TVS Nightline. For more news update 24/7, follow our social media at TVSTVMY on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Once again, I'm Muhammad Yusuf. Good night.